you.
Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J-Dog.
Mike, it's good to see you. We survived a legendary trip since last time we talked to the people.
It's been a while. I feel like it's been about a month. You know, it's summertime. Not a lot going on. Not a lot of news. We went to Cabo for a little mutual friend's bachelor party. We all survived. Some people came back. You came back with COVID, which is, always great. That means a sign of a good trip. It was one of the, I was telling you before, I think this is one of the best bachelor party trips, not only because we planned it, but one of the best bachelor party trips I've ever been on.
Legendary bachelor party for so many reasons. The location, the resort, the crew, the activities we did, the itinerary, the organization. I could go on and on about what made it so great. But what comes, Mike? What comes with the sports hangover planning a bachelor party? We should have known all along.
Yeah.
But a famous athlete comes along with it. We didn't even know. We partied with one of my favorite athletes ever in history. We're not going to name him yet. We're efforting to book him at some point.
I honestly don't even know. No shame to him, but I don't know if a lot of people listening would know who he is, because you were the only one with a hard on for that guy as we're checking in. The unknown athlete standing there just in his bathing suit, shirtless. Jeremy's like, I know that guy. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, Jeremy.
Well, I can pick out the abs of an athlete anywhere, anytime, and that's exactly what I did here.
And it was a great time. I mean, we randomly met him at, we saw him at dinner. You invited him over. We shook his hand, and then that was the story, the beginning of the story and love story between us and the famous athlete.
The way I tell people the story, I saw him at the buffet. He's like, "Where are the boys?" I'm like, "Let me introduce you to the boys." I bring him over to our table, and we take a picture. And that's where any normal story of meeting an athlete ends. And usually, that's like, oh, we met him, we got a picture. It's just one little subplot of the weekend. I'm not kidding you, listeners and people who missed out on this bachelor party. This athlete came out with us Thursday night, came out with us Friday night, came out with us Saturday night. This athlete was doing everything we were doing, was doing it to the 10th degree, was taking everything extremely far, and we love him. We are all fans of this random athlete. As Mike says, we have a new best friend. Yeah. People call him by his first name. Some of us text with them now. He's legendary, and we hope to bring him on the show to talk more about it. But just to hammer home the point, if you missed this Cabo bachelor party, you missed a legendary trip. And I know some of our listeners missed it, and that sucks. Life gets in the way. I just want them to know that you missed a legendary trip that won't be replicated anytime soon.
It won't. And yeah, I mean, the way it just all worked out, it's like we only planned on going out with them one night. Then we randomly meet up with them again the next night. Then we randomly meet up with again at this like random foam party we were at. It was a great time. It was a lot of fun.
Everything's coming up with the athlete. Like just another part of the story. At one point, Mike was having such a good time, you lost your phone. Your phone was lost in the abyss, and you thought it was gone forever. All of a sudden, Mike's phone calls my phone, and it's Mike calling. But it's so weird because Mike's phone is missing. So I answer it, and it's the famous athlete who has Mike's phone. That just sums up how this guy just kept popping up and popping up. He made the trip more amazing with his presence, with his economic stimulus into the trip, with his ideas of things to do on the trip. The guy was amazing. We had the time of our lives. I'm not kidding you. All 9 guys had the time of their lives. It's fair to say.
Yeah.
Everyone delivered in various ways, and it's just legendary. All-inclusive life, top of the list of any vacation. I had never experienced this before. It's like a cruise ship on the ocean. It's like the best of both worlds. And the all-you-can-eat, the all-you-can-drink, the activities.
Stuck. You can leave the resort whenever you want. It was a lot of fun. And, coming into this, our mutual friend, big gambler, he wanted us to put together like a prop sheet for like what would happen on the trip. And immediately as this trip starts, nothing we had on our sheet would have even hit because it was above and beyond what we could even imagine was going to happen on this trip. So it was
our list would have just so underestimated everyone's weekend. It was great. Go to Cabo. We're not ready to say we're sponsored by the resort yet. Longtime listeners will know that we've been sponsored by Baja Mar, one of our favorites. We hope to get them back on the payroll soon. But we're also open to all-inclusives sponsoring us, Mike. So maybe if this particular resort wants to reach out, maybe other resorts, we are all about the resort life.
Jeremy, you're all in on all-inclusive. I love it. You've never been. You're just going to be a resort guy now. It is a great life. You just eat and drink and just hang out. How can it be worse?
A few of the casualties we had, COVID, broken ribs,
Mhm.
lost phone, lost
Yep.
Nintendo Switch, and those come with epic times. And so there's no regrets by anyone. I've recovered from COVID. I
You're
don't think the
back.
broken rib is healed yet. It's not mine,
I don't think so.
but there's actually video of it happening. That makes it even better. There was outfits, there was foam, there was boats, there was snorkeling,
It was really good.
there
Listen,
was
and
everything, Mike. It was legendary.
if people want a t-shirt, the Tony Tequila store is up on the website at
It's
sportshangover.com.
true.
You can get it. Great shirt. Didn't have as big of an impact as I thought it would, like when we were in Laughlin from mine. Remember, it was more of like, oh, what are these guys doing? In Cabo, we were just like a 40-year-old group wearing the same t-shirt with partying with 19-year-olds. That's what was
We
happening.
were just
in Cabo.
blending in with the rest of Cabo. There's a lot of 35-year-olds like us, and there was a lot of 18-year-olds who could be our kids, and there
Yeah.
wasn't much in between at all the places we went.
There wasn't. It was a good time. All right. Well, I feel like we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Real quick, top of the show. I just want to mention, this is what I mentioned a few weeks ago. We launched the official Sports Hangover Super Contest. If you want to join, an email went out today to a few individuals. If you haven't got the email, just go to supercontest.co and you can then join. I could even like probably pull it up here if I want to make one. But go to supercontest.co and then join, sign up, $100 to join. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here, I'll put it up here. We'll get a little ticker going. Let's see here. Does that work?
So you're organizing this whole super contest. This is big. This is the Sports Hangover is putting this on, and anyone can join. You don't have to be invited.
Anybody can join in. You can have up to 5 entries. It's against the spread. So you pick 5 teams against the spread every single week. If you don't know what the super contest is, it's a lot of fun. I'm hoping to get like 50 to 100 people in there. Big payouts. Should be fun. So we'll see what happens. Who knows? It'll be a good time. And because this is why, Jeremy, the big reason I hate fantasy football. This is what I love. I love gambling. And I've hated fantasy football.
It's
for
fantasy
such a long
football
time.
season. It's draft season. I
know.
began preparations. This is the most exciting time for fantasy, and you're just shitting on it.
I know. I haven't prepped at all. Obviously, I lost last year in one of the leagues I thought would be the easiest, just a snake draft.
You got last place. Are you supplying the pizza and beer for draft day?
I'm paying the commissioner extra money to get the first overall draft. I said, listen, help me out.
what?
Give me the first pick. I need the first pick.
Did you just tell me that? I'm in this league. What?
I need the first overall pick. I've been in this
I trust
league.
our commissioner. He does a blind draw for draft order, and I trust him.
Sure. Yeah. But I have been in this league a long time, in and out. I've been in and out of the league, and I've always been in that position where I could get first pick, and I've never gotten first pick. Something is rigged. I do not like it. I need first this year.
It's a double draw. You don't know about the double draw, but he asks you for a number, and then it flips over a card, so there's a second blind. It's like a double blind.
I know.
He's a real mathematician with this stuff.
So go to supercontest.co, join up. If you hate fantasy, this is what you want to do. You want to
Well, tell the people what it is, right? It's 5 games a week against the spread. It's simple.
Yeah,
You
we
can
talk
just
about it
download an
every
app
year.
and do it.
We've been talking about the super contest forever. I'll be giving out picks. I'll be talking about it. There is, all the information that you can get will only help you so much because it is a really hard thing to do is to pick. You have to be the best at picking against the spread. And it's not as easy as you think, but it's a lot of fun. So go join.
And we get to face off against each other in a very official way this year.
I'm very excited.
Because I normally beat you underground, and now I'm going to beat you above ground.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. I'm still going to talk about the picks here, and I want you to talk about them openly. It's fun.
It is NFL season, so I'm glad you started with that. There's a lot of storylines that I'm monitoring.
Okay,
is there any particular NFL storyline that you want to start with?
I would love to talk about Jonathan Taylor and Jim Irsay because I feel like something weird's going on there. I don't really know what's going on. I saw the headlines. I think this was all happening when we were in Cabo.
Exactly. I was going to say, we were in Cabo. The running backs were on Zoom having a work meeting. Like for once in our lives, we were in a better place than NFL running backs.
Yeah.
And they were all huddling like, how do you get paid? But actually the market decides it. That's the beauty of the NFL and most of our employment lines where the market will tell you how much you're actually worth. And the NFL is telling these running backs they're not worth very much, including Saquon Barkley and Nick Chubb and even the best. So I don't know where they go from here.
Well, it's weird because it's almost like, all right, you're going to try to almost unionize as running backs inside of a larger union, right? So don't know how that's going to work. And you're just basically saying, are we going to all hold out to get paid more money? But it's hard because the lifespan of a running back, what do we say? Like 3 years max. Usually you're like, oh yeah, this guy's good this year, but he's get beat up. You go through a lot as a running back. And I just don't know if the first year you have to basically hold out after your second year and just be like, I need the biggest contract ever. But I don't know how these guys are going to get paid. And like Jim Irsay is like basically saying, oh yeah, he's not going to be, getting paid 5 years in the league. Right.
I'll tell you how you get paid is you go catch passes. It's a passing league. It's a quarterback dominant league. Receivers are getting paid. If you're a one-dimensional running back who can't pass block and can't catch passes, then you're not going to get paid. And sorry, Nick Chubb, that's not saying much for you. But a guy like Nick Chubb or Jonathan Taylor, who are so dynamic in parts of their game that running backs used to be relied on, that's no longer what the NFL values. And so if you're not going to be the third down back and getting open on 3rd and 8 to move the chains, then you're not going to get paid as much. And those guys either need to evolve or die, just like any other industry, just like the sports hangover has done over multiple running back life.
That's
lifetime.
right. Do you want to do? I have some bullshit or believe about some NFL things. You want to talk about it real quick? I got 4 things. 4 things.
Sure.
Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe. All right. I got a few. So bullshit or believe. Will this be the best version of Aaron Rodgers we've ever seen? Because I saw some clips of Hard Knocks. Kind of liking it. He's like calling, like, throw it to this guy, throw it to this guy. It's just like making.
Okay. First of all, I saw that clip too. First of all, you're not allowed to have an ear into the quarterback while he's throwing passes. So whatever they're editing together that makes it look like he's telling Zach Wilson what to do, that's illegal and not allowed in the NFL. That's first of all. So that should shut down that little idea you have.
Okay,
Second of all, the Jets might be best.
Wait, hold on. Can't you talk pre-snap up until
you
like
can talk
20
pre-snap
seconds?
until 15 or 20 seconds and it cuts off, but not as he's actually trying to throw the ball downfield.
Okay.
The Jets will be best served with Aaron Rodgers with a headset on the sideline this year. They will play their best football when he's not there. And that'll actually happen, Mike, between week 3 and 6 when he takes a big hit. He's playing behind the worst offensive line in his career. Why is no one talking about this? I don't understand. Everyone's blowing the Jets, blowing Aaron Rodgers, saying they're going to win the AFC East. They're better than the Bills. They're the best team out there. He's playing behind the worst offensive line in his career at 39. What if I said, Mike, wait 4 more years until you're even less mobile than you are now, and then I'll put you behind the worst offensive line you've ever played behind. That's what Aaron Rodgers is doing at 39. It makes no sense why people think he's just going to have this amazing season. Everyone's all hyping Garrett Wilson. I know he's a young receiver. I'm sure he'll have a nice season. Who's after Garrett Wilson? Is Alan Lazard the number 2 receiver or Randall Cobb? Which one is it? They don't have weapons. Dalvin Cook went there. They couldn't even sell him on whatever minimum contract they were trying to pay him. He's still unsigned, so that didn't go well. All this hype around the Jets, it just makes me bullshit in every way. This is going to be a disaster. What do you think?
Well, the other thing was bullshit or believe. Will Aaron Rodgers retire mid-season? Is that something that can happen? Big injury, he's done.
I don't think he'll get paid for the whole season. So I'll say bullshit on that just to make sure when he's hurt from week 6, he gets his payment through week 17.
All I want to do is believe the hype of this, but it is hard because it's also like the Hard Knocks. Like every time there's a Hard Knocks team, I get pumped up. Like who didn't love the Detroit Lions last year when they were on Hard Knocks? Like it just pumps you up. You watch, you're like,
you actually lost money throughout the season on Dan Campbell because of Hard Knocks. Don't make that same mistake with the Jets.
And then like this year you watch it, you're like, all right, maybe Aaron Rodgers, maybe still got it. They're cutting it together well. It's on tomorrow night, Tuesday night. I'm gonna watch it. It's been the same every year. Hopefully this year it's a little bit more drama. I want to see some like Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson.
Mike, did you hear there's no drama because the COVID's coming back? The Jets are not allowing cameras to capture things they don't want them to capture. That's the agreement the Jets made with the NFL. They said, if you're going to do Hard Knocks with us, we're going to have control over everything, and there will be no cameras in weird altercations, and there'll be no cameras as they cut people, and all the things you want won't even be there. I know.
Well, what sucks is that 10 years ago, it was better because you could get more drama. No one has as much control. So now it's like, what? This is a documentary about your own team, and it's just like a polished like promo of like how good your team is. It's no fun. It's like, how many times do we have to watch like the rookies sing and dance in front of everybody? Like every year it's like, oh, rookies come up and do a little sing and dance for us. Like I need more. I need more fun. So we'll see how it is. I'm going to watch it. We always watch it. That's what happens.
We'll give it a review next week. Yeah.
One more thing. 2 more things. Bullshit or believe, the Sean Payton Russ experiment will implode. They're going to go 0-5. They're going to lose to the Raiders. Washington Commanders. Are they still the Commanders? I think they're renaming to another team. Dolphins, Bears, and the Jets. They'll lose to all those teams.
I thought you were going to name a tougher little start to the season. I feel
No,
like
no,
Dolphins, Bears, Jets are all winnable. I
no.
no, they're not going to go 0-5.
Okay.
Is this you? Did you rig this question? Did you want
No,
them to go 0-5 and fire
I
Sean
don't.
Payton?
I don't think, from what it seems like, I don't think I saw stories. Russ doesn't have the same agility, mobility, all this stuff. I don't think Sean Payton wants him. I think Sean Payton wants Russ to fail so he can
Yeah.
go out and get a new quarterback. And the new owners, they got tons of cash. They can afford it, right? So my theory is Sean Payton doesn't want him. He's going to put him through the ringer, make it as tough as possible. I think they're going to go 0-5. I don't think they have any shot in the world. I think Sean Payton, he's got, how many year contract did he sign on this? Is he 5 years?
Wow, 5 or 6, yeah.
Russ
He's not
could
going
be out.
anywhere.
Russ is-
Russ will be out, and I like that take on the question because I do think Peyton doesn't care that he's inheriting Russ because he
No.
feels like Russ isn't forever, and he'll be able to draft his own guy
Russ
or
is not
acquire his
forever.
own guy in time. Maybe it's a year or two down the road, but that's the beauty of a 5-year long-term deal. I agree with you. Russ is not the guy. I think Sean is laying the groundwork for this by saying Hackett was the worst job ever and all these things that were super controversial. Aaron
Mhm.
Rodgers told him to keep my coach's name out of your mouth.
So much
But
drama.
Aaron Rodgers, your coach's name is Saleh, not Hackett, dude. That's just a little coordinator who grew a goatee to redefine his career because whatever was working in Denver wasn't working. And so Rodgers has his own problems. Hackett has his own problems. Let's let Sean Payton cook. Let's have a little different
Okay.
spin on things in Denver.
But-
Let Sean cook because Sean, I trust much more than Russell.
So then I was really thinking about this today because I was like, okay, I'm going to think back. What are the last 5 years of when Sean Payton he was coaching, right? He had Drew Brees. We could say great quarterback, but they were never the top tier team. They were always a team where there was flashes of like greatness, right? Was that Drew Brees? Was that Sean Payton? What was it about that era of like Sean Payton and Drew Brees that made it seem that good? Because I don't know if it was Sean Payton. Like even the year that he was suspended, they were basically the same team, right? They were kind of like good, kind of bad. He was, what was that? He was like, why was he suspended? Was it
Bounty Gate. Remember the bounties they put on people, which you can argue, 20 years ago, every team in the NFL was doing that.
Yeah.
Now he got caught and he got suspended for a year. Sean Payton brought the Saints out of Katrina when that franchise was terrible, playing games in Baton Rouge because the Superdome was damaged, all the way to Super Bowl champion. So Sean Payton has accomplished a lot, and Russ has too, but Russ has faded, and we're not ready to say that Sean Payton has faded.
Aren't we saying though, like, I'm not saying like Sean Payton from 2007, 2009. I'm saying Sean Payton from like 2015 to 2020. Were
Hasn't
those
been
years
so great.
When Drew Brees was fading, now we have Russ fading. How is this really going to be a good season? Because that's what I was thinking about. I'm like, all right, like we're going to gamble on this season. I would say bet the under on the Denver Broncos because I don't know if they're actually going to be that good because it doesn't seem like he cares really. He got a lot of money
Sean
from
Payton?
Fox. Yeah. Like, does he
I
really
think he
care?
cares. I think his reputation means something, and to go flame out at the end of your career and not work in Denver after getting all that money will define Sean Payton's legacy. And I think any coach or quarterback cares so much about their ego, and part of that ego drives you to the top of the mountaintop. I think they always care about how they're looked upon. So I think Sean is going to try very hard in Denver. I think he's happy to be living in Denver. It's one of those great cities we talked about as he was going through, what team is he going to choose? Is it going to be a California team or a nice weather like Denver or somewhere else? And he's stuck with the Broncos. I trust Sean. I don't know why you're being critical on the Saints the last few years. I mean, they were in NFC playoffs every year. Breeze wasn't even 6 foot tall, and he was leading them there.
So
I'm okay with what I saw from this.
Russ isn't 6 foot tall either. Isn't he like 5'10", 11?
He is short too.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I saw a lot of comparisons from what the Saints were doing to what the Broncos were doing. And I feel like every year we're like, oh, the Broncos are going to be good. There's like hope. You're like, oh, these receivers, they're on Mountain High. They have the advantage at home. I don't think it's going to happen. I have one more. Baker Mayfield. Bullshit or believe Baker Mayfield will have a surprisingly good half of the season. I have some hope on him.
Bullshit. I got a report from Bucks practice today.
Yeah.
Mike, did you know that Baker Mayfield has thrown 7 interceptions in training camp? Kyle Trask, same amount of snaps, has thrown 1 interception in training camp. From all accounts,
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 right now who starts the season, Baker or Trask, where you thought maybe Trask comes along at some point throughout the season.
Yeah.
We're now 50-50 week one. It's Trask, and Baker never sees the field unless he's injured. So that's how bad Baker is playing. This might be part of the Bucs plan to tank for Caleb Williams, the quarterback from USC. We'll see if that ends up happening. There's rumors of several teams tanking for Caleb Williams. We'll see if that works out. He's really good at USC, but I don't know.
It always sucks when a team goes from like winning a Super Bowl to the year after they're so bad. They're so bad. How is there no in between? How does the team not just bounce back and just go again? Like, how did Brady do it back to back or something? Like, how did these teams do it?
There's a void in leadership. Brady was an excellent quarterback and a leader, and you lose both. It's like two different positions at one. Who's the head coach now? They lost Arians. Bowles is running things. Why? Why is he there? I don't
know. What else?
One more bullshit belief for you.
me.
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, he was injured when we were in Cabo as part of the Zoom running back time. Burrow was injured. Hopes to be back for training camp. Bullshit or believe? Are the Bengals going to make the playoffs this year? Bullshit or believe? They started 0-2 last year, and now Joe doesn't have training camp.
I never have hope on the Bengals. I'm always kind of like doubting a little bit. I'm going to say... what'd you say? I'm going to believe that they're not going to be good. Is that?
Are they going to make the playoff? They will make the playoffs. Bullshit or believe?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say bullshit.
Wow.
They're not going to make it. I just
strong take.
Do you really? Every year I'm like, they're always questionable. It's like, we know they're kind of good, but if Joe Burrow's just like a little injured, is that going to pull him off a little bit? Because that could be, because it was just a calf, right? Did he do something to his calf?
Just a calf, but to miss all of training camp, it's not ideal. They started slow last year. If they start slow again, I think my point is I trust Joe, but Joe better come out firing because the AFC has all the best teams and all the best quarterbacks. And if you're down early in September, you might not have enough time to make it back.
Listen, I think a calf injury, you can't walk on that. Like, I've been running lately and my calves have been hurting and you can't do much. And
like, you're our injury expert at this point in your life.
I know. I'll tell you all my injuries. I have so many lately.
You're our Stefania Bell.
I think it's hard because it's just a muscle, right? So you could just easily re-aggravate it running a weird way. And you're not thinking about it when you're running. You're just like running as fast as you can. You could just like... He's got to stretch. That's what I've been doing. A lot of stretching.
He's got to stretch. All right, we got to wrap things up. We're coming back next week with fantasy football prep work. I know you're not into it, so I'm going to give the people what they want, and I did want you to remind them about supercontest.co.
Yes. Supercontest.co. Go there. That is the site that will redirect you to sign up. It is a Run Your Pool app that you can download on your phone, and you can use it there. It'll be a lot of fun. I mean, next week I want to talk about the women's soccer team, too. I had some takes on that we could talk about. Elon Musk fighting, all that stuff. All right, good show. Check out sportsanchor.com.